Now, most of us grew up watching our parents sacrifice everything. Now, scroll once and a finance influencer is shouting, this Corpus will pay you around 1.5 to 2 lakhs per month, theoretically forever, to spend that money and live your life because you will never get your 20s back. If you open Instagram right now, our generation is kind of been torn apart into these two completely opposite and toxic directions. Now scroll once and a finance influencer is shouting at you to invest 80% of your salary because compounding is magic, right? Now scroll again and a travel influencer in the mountains is telling you to spend that money and live your life because you will never get your 20s back. Now we are all constantly trapped in this dilemma. Like, of course we want to secure our future, but we also want to live out our lives today. Now before I go any further, I want to address the elephant in the room. Now I work as a software engineer at Google, and I know that just having the option to save aggressively comes from a place of privilege, and not everybody gets that option, right? But whether you're making 30,000 a month or 3 lakhs a month, right? The psychological trap of our 20s remains the same. Now, when we start earning, especially coming from a middle class family, right? We are hardwired to hoard, just to save. Now, most of us grew up watching our parents sacrifice everything. They did not take luxury vacations. They saved up money for our coaching classes and our engineering degrees. And because of the financial foundation they built, we find ourselves with the financial privileges and opportunities that they did not get at the same age. So when you spend 4,000 on a big fancy dinner, the guilt is not financial. It's a lot more generational, right? Like, it feels like a betrayal of their sacrifice. But here's what you have to realize, right? Our parents sacrificed everything so that we won't have to live in any kind of financial anxiety, right? Like, hoarding all your money and living miserably is no way to honor their sacrifices. It's just passing down that financial trauma to the next generation. Okay, so recently I was reading this book by Morgan Housel, which is The Art of Spending Money, and which is sort of like the inspiration to this video as well. Now he says that extreme frugality is almost always a trauma response. Now we hoard money because subconsciously we're terrified that one day it's all just gonna come crashing down. We use our bank balance as an emotional shield. Now the art of saving money is a mathematical science, right? But the art of spending money is completely psychological. So how do we fix this? How do we build a financial model that secures our future, lets us buy the things that we actually want to buy in life, and also allows us to live a very happy and comfortable life in this moment right now, and gives us permission to enjoy our youth? You don't guess, you build a 4-step system. Now I'm going to use some hypothetical numbers here. Please scale this up or down according to your salary and your expenses, right? First, you have to figure out what your long-term future actually looks like and actually costs. Now, close your eyes and fast forward 10 or 15 years. If you did not have to clock into a corporate job, what does a happy, comfortable month actually cost you? Is it 1 lakh? Is it 2 lakhs? Is it 5 lakhs, right? Whatever that number is, keep that in mind. Now, once you have it, the goal is to build a financial machine that gives you that exact amount without you having to trade your time for a salary. Now, there are generally 2 ways to achieve this financial freedom. Now, the first one is the Corpus method. Now, this is the classic FIRE approach, which is like financial independence and retire early. You build a massive lump sum corpus, right? Let's say, whatever, 5 crores. You park it in a balanced portfolio of index funds, bonds, or mutual funds, or whatever, right? And using a very systematic withdrawal plan of about 3 to 4%, this corpus will pay you around 1.5 to 2 lakhs per month, theoretically forever, without ever running out of money. Now, the second method is the cash flowing assets. Now, if saving 5 crores sounds impossible, you don't need a massive lump sum if you have assets that generate a monthly cash flow as well. Now, this could be rental yields from a real estate property, it could be very high dividend paying stocks portfolio, or even building a digital asset or passive income opportunities on the side. But for the purpose of this video, let's say you choose the Corpus route and you have that number, which is 1 crores, let's say, for the next 15 years. Now, instead of saving whatever is left today, you open a simple SIP calculator and then make your decisions, right? Now, assuming a very standard 12% return, you roughly need to invest about 20,000 per month to achieve that 1 crore goal 15 years down the line. On the first of every month, that money vanishes into your investment account. So you have mathematically secured your financial freedom. But what about the big things that you actually want to buy, right? Let's say that you're a car guy and you want to buy a luxury SUV 5 years down the line. If it brings you joy, don't suppress it. But don't act on impulse 5 years down the line and just take a random auto loan that ruins your net worth, right? Plan for it today. You figure out that you need 15 lakhs for a down payment 5 years down the line, and you reverse engineer that into a dream SIP of let's say 18,000 a month. So by the time you walk into that showroom, that car is already paid for by your past self. And next, handle your monthly survival, primarily your rent, right? Some people will tell you to live in the cheapest room to maximize savings, right? Well, I disagree. If coming back to a beautiful, well-lit room after, slogging it out in the office after a 8-hour or whatever 10-hour shift, and it brings you mental joy, right? Then that is a very high ROI investment into your mental health. Now, I live in a shared apartment here in Bangalore, but even after that, my split of the rent is around 19,000 a month, and that isn't cheap at all. But it gives me the sort of space and sanctuary that I need to function and chill out after work. The trap isn't spending money on rent. The trap is what Morgan Housel calls social debt. Actually, upgrading to a massive high rent apartment just to impress people, that is where the problem is. So spend on your living space because it brings you utility, not to flex your salary, right? And now coming to the fourth part, the internal benchmark fund. Now once your long-term SIP is invested, your dream SIP is also funded, and you've also paid out your rent. Every single rupee is for you to spend today with absolutely no guilt. But there is one rule though. Before you buy something, ask Housel's ultimate question, and I quote, "If nobody but my immediate family could see my car, my house, and the vacation pictures, how would I choose to live?" So if booking that luxury staycation brings you actual mental peace, go for it. Your future is already funded. Now coming to part 3, the rules of spending. Rule 1 is buying back your time. Now as engineers, we are obsessed with ROI, right? But why do we only apply it to stocks? We completely ignore our most important asset, our time. And we feel immense guilt on spending on our convenience, right? We think, why should I spend money on, let's say for example, a 6,000 rupees per month cook when I could do the meal prep myself? Here's the math. If paying that 6,000 per month saves you 2 hours a day, that is 60 hours in 1 month. And if you use those 60 hours to to sleep better, to hit the gym, to upskill, or to build some side hustles like this YouTube channel or whatever, right? The returns, the ROI on that 60 hours is astronomical. So stop feeling guilty to spend money to eliminate friction. Think of it like you're buying back the only non-renewable asset that you have, right? Which is your time. Now to the second rule, which is the time, health and wealth paradox. There is a book by Bill Perkins called Die with Zero, and it sort of shattered my views on savings, right? So he talks about this time, wealth, health paradox. Now we tell ourselves that we are saving millions so that we can travel the world when we retire at 60 years old. But at 60, you don't even know whether your knees will be working or whether you will even have the energy to do it. Plus your risk tolerance will be so low as well. So that is why I feel like, for example, backpacking through Europe must feel so different when you do it at 25 rather than taking a luxury cruise at 65, right? You could always do that, but you should not sacrifice what you currently have for that. And Perkins introduces this completely amazing concept of memory dividends. And I absolutely love the name and the concept of it. So let me explain. Now, if you spend 1 lakh today on an international trip, let's say with your friends, now that investment pays you memory dividends for every time in the next 40 years that you talk about that trip. But at 65, I don't know, you probably get 10, 15, 20 years of those dividends. So stop waiting for the perfect time to spend, because your energy and your health will not wait for you. Now next I want to talk about the experiences trap and the contentment. Now we are constantly told to spend money on experiences, right, on various social media platforms. But if you're flying to Europe just to take pictures for Instagram, you are not experiencing it. You are treating it more like a status symbol. What we are actually looking for is not sort of excitement, it's contentment. Sometimes the best experiences you can buy is just the financial independence to not stress about an unexpected hospital bill, right? Okay, I want to be very clear before we wrap up. Okay, this is very important. This video is not about me telling you to go out tomorrow, stop investing and buy luxury cars and spend on inexpensive dinners. Please do not do that. This is about the financial model, so you can find the right balance for you. Your baseline number will look different than mine, your rent will look different than mine. The goal is to stop operating from blind financial anxiety and start operating with intention. Build a life you actually enjoy along the way, right? Secure your baseline, buy back your time, And yes, please do go out and live out your life today. Now, if you want to see how I've been managing my expenses, what those numbers will look like, and how I optimize using credit cards and stuff, so I link all those videos here, and please do go and watch them. And yeah, thank you for watching. Like the video if you've been here till now, and subscribe to the channel. It's pretty new. And yeah, see you in the next one.